2 o'clock, so we'll start the meeting. As mentioned, thank you for coming. And each month we'll be doing these, and this month will be on the incident register, how it works, and also how to get the most out of it, as well as some of the features coming inside that system. So let's select the incident register just here. This register, like the hazard register and the contractor register and some of the other registers, red, orange, green. So red means that it's actually logged, orange when you is after you do the investigation process, and green means that it's completed. So we will go through the whole 3 steps, but we'll just go over how this what this register does in the view section here. You'll have an item number, and at the moment when you actually receive a email alert, it doesn't have that item number on it, but it will be having that item number in the next couple of days. So you'll be able to identify if you got an email alert. It does have an affected person here. You can actually filter this here alphabetically if you wanted to. Same thing has the sites. You can actually filter that as well. These icons here are just highlighting, yes, that person had medical, they had first aid, they went to ambulance, they were picked up by an ambulance, and they went to hospital. So if you see 4 green ticks there, it's probably not a good thing. So and it's just there for you to identify quickly and easily which incidents are minor incidents and which are major. Those has the incident date and time. You can actually upload and add certain documents, maybe certificates or photos or whatever it may be, or details of anything relating to that incident, and I'll actually keep it in the log of that employee. This icon here, once an incident is actually logged, it'll actually bring this icon here, but we're going to go through in the entire process in a sec, so you'll see what happens with this investigation form, and then also the supervisor's form where you develop the corrective measure. You can, if you wanted to, send this off to an insurance company and it'll bundle up everything that's in the view section. And the view section literally is just all the details of what you've actually gone through that 3-step process. You've also got an update icon where you can actually come back here and go through and update any kind of details that you need to do. And a status icon, which is you can actually deactivate that incident, puts it into the deactivated register. You can also sort this register if you wanted to. I could actually click on all the red icons and it brings all the people, all the incidents need to be investigated to the top and so forth. You can sort it by any color that you want there, depending on what colors are, needs to be done. You can actually select on this and it'll actually take you straight to the help section. One of the good features about this system is the publish register, where you can actually publish this register in a variety of reports. So you can either publish it in a PDF from a date range, or just the investigations or supervisor's reports due. But you can also, say for an example, print it out as a CSV file. So it's a good idea to, from a date range, CSV file, select your date range that you want to, and then publish. And it gives you a very, very detailed report on how that actually, in that incident. All those kind of processes in the incident form are on this form, as well as some of the stuff relating to the investigation process. So a lot of companies, or a lot of our larger clients, like using the Excel spreadsheet, and you can actually back that up because it links to the report section here, where you got your incident statistics. These reports here, this report here is solely just based on the incident register. So you've got, incidents statistics. You can actually select on here to give you yearly stats, and you can print that out. Where you've got, you've got all the different kind of statistics on reported, investigated, but you can actually click on any one of those blue fields and it'll actually bring you up and go into more detail of that actual kind of area, and you can print them out in your own report. So and then you're looking at I scroll down here, and obviously you've seen that it actually produces graph reports, but you can actually select on here to get more details over that report. There will be an upgrade coming into this section here that you'll be able to, this will create a whole different matrix of different reports that you'll be able to do relating to that area or injury type. So and you'll be able to do date range and all those different things as well with that process. But let's just go straight back to the incident register, and let's select, before you really should be setting up your incidents and doing incidents, you should be coming to the user admin dashboard, the alert section, and building alerts. But if you've got all this many sites inside the system, you will need to build an alert for every single one of those people. You can actually, if you select 0 for an incident, only incident hazards you would actually select as 0, so you get the email immediately. 1 is for the next day. That's what you would set everything else up as 1 because it's expiring the next day. So and then you're looking at, you can actually escalate that alert after that to, if this original person hasn't done the investigation by 1 day, I can actually then make it go to this person here and save. So this escalation process is a great way for if you've got multi-sites or multi-department and you don't want to be notified unless you select yourself up the top, as well as, say for an example, selecting only you in the process here, that knowing that the investigation has actually been undertaken or has not been done. So you need to set up an alert for literally every single site that you have, not just one site. Next thing that you would actually do, if I just go that add incident form, you can actually make this incident form here public. So if I go print QR code, it automatically creates a QR code with the name incident form. That's your logo, it'll be here. And you're looking at, if they scan that QR code at the moment, if it's not public, it'll ask them to enter their username and password. So what you would like to do is actually, you come back to the incident form, you select make an incident form public, and that's taking you to the public pages register. That public pages register, I can go now add public page. You would make every single site public. Depending on if it's only seen by your employees, if it's only seen by your employees, yes, you put the employee list on it. If it's seen by general public, you would select no, where they enter the details and save. So if you did that, you would actually go through and do one for every single site that you've added inside the system. The reason being is that when they scan the QR code, in this drop-down list, it'll only highlight, that's if you've made it public, when they scan the QR code and it brings the incident form up on their phone or the mini iPad, is that it'll actually only highlight the ones here that you've made public. So if you haven't made them all public, all your sites won't be on that list. So let's go through this form. So you can actually relate an incident to an employee, a contractor. It's picking up the contractor register, visitor register. You can enter their basic details. It'll go into your visitors register. Volunteer. So if you select your volunteer, it'll go into your volunteer register, and client, it'll go into your client register, all found in your user admin dashboard. So you can actually, get me injured again. I usually injure myself all the time. So I can relate myself, that injury, to a site. I can relate this to an injury type. Now, this is a feature, it's been in around about, say, 6 months only, where you can actually, if you wanted to, you might like one of those, you might want to get rid of quality, for an example, and delete. So you can add one if you wanted to. And now, say for an example, that's on my list. So there is only 20 that you get. The reason why you've only got 20 is because it affects the reports and so forth, so it doesn't distort them. One thing that has been noted is if I do actually add this site of AAA, there is no sub details where it can actually give a more of description in there. You'll see that coming in the coming days, that'll actually be fixed up because of this feature here. So what I mean by that, if I actually select injury, and if I scroll down to the bottom here, it's got more details here that I can actually enter the incident, and this actually appears on that Excel spreadsheet. So so that will be occurring. So if you've seen that and noted that, yes, that will be updated to make it even easier to use. But so let's just select it as injury. We'll put the location in there, whatever it may be. Reported time. You can relate it to an activity. You can relate it to a machine. And this is actually the time and date of the incident. So the best thing for you to do here is you do the time first. Then you actually select all those different, and then you would select the date and so forth. So, but make sure you do the time first. Yes, what's first aid provided? You can describe who actually did, what kind of first aid was done, bandage, whatever it may be, and this who did it. This is where the green, those green ticks on the register are actually picking up the information from these fields here, and you can go through here. You can, if you wanted to, select the person who's going to investigate. So I might even investigate my own injury. So and the date that it is due by. And again, as mentioned, you can actually put more of a description, so forth in here, witness details, contact details, witness statement. I am putting in add more witnesses in here, so you'll be able to add more than that. Let's go add and proceed. If you've said, well, now it actually takes you to the nature section and the body part. Again, you'll see this green plus sign and red minus sign, where you can actually add your own body part as injury type, or again, you can actually get rid of ones that you don't want. So let's just select one. So and then you're looking at, you've got your body part here, and again, you can actually deactivate or add. A lot of clients like to actually break it down to right arm, right hand, left hand, even down to the fingers sometimes, depending who they are. So that's now entered. If I was set up for an email alert, I would have actually received an email alert on that there. And you're looking at what happens there is that it goes red inside the system here. There's my email alert. It just come in. So let me just bring that over. Oops, I'll do it like that. So if I come over here, it's brought up an email alert over here. So it and then you can actually click there, and it'll take you straight to the incident. That's where you have to be logged into the system when you get that email alert to actually do that. So so make sure that if you are logged in and constantly logged in, you can actually select that, and it'll open up that incident straight away. But as mentioned, I'll be putting this ID on that email as well, which it should have already have. So if I actually select the next stage, which is in the investigation process, you can, if you wanted to, bypass this investigation, and it'll go blue inside your register. But let's just go through here, and we'll go through the entire process. Date investigated. How did it happen? You just fill in the form and fill in the blanks. What I actually do coming down here is, I say to people, just ask yourself these, 9 factors. Was supervision involved? Yes or no? You can go through and do the sub questions. Was safe operating procedures? So it's got a really good, kind of process where you can actually do a good investigation of that process. So work your way down those steps there, and then you can actually work your way down the corrective measures here as well, and go through the corrective measures. So once you do that, you can actually come down here and say, who's going to review that? We'll make Brad review that. So and you know what? We'll make Brad do the investigation as possible as well. So supervised date. We'll make it that you got to do that by tomorrow, Brad. So and I could actually select this and say, will it save the incident and take me to the supervisor's form straight away? But I'll go submit. It goes orange inside the system. No, but I just need to put you on mute because and then so I'll just put you on mute there. So You're looking at, it goes orange inside the system, puts a green tick here, and then it takes you, the next step with the pad is the supervisor report or the corrective action, where you're developing corrective action to reduce the likelihood of that incident occurring. So name a person, Brad. You can go through this process here. Now, this is a bit of an upgrade that happened around about 6 months ago that a lot of people don't kind of use, and they should, depending if they look after their own return to work. You can actually, if this person has time off work, you can actually select this icon here and select the estimated days off that they're going to have. This here, by selecting this, will automatically put that person into the return to work register as red. So not only that, in the report section, you'll see it calculates days off work, and that'll actually have that. So if I come down to the bottom here further, I can actually go through and fill in the form, and I can actually, out of any action, you really should be implementing corrective measures to reduce the likelihood of that incident occurring, and you can add as many as you want. So this will automatically go into this person's to-do list, as well as going into the action register as well, so you can print out reports. Save. So it goes now green inside the system. I could email that off if I wanted to whoever it may be. So and you're looking at that kind of bit of music in the background was me receiving an email saying that I have got an action to do. So if you've assigned someone an action, it'll actually automatically put that action in here to say that actually that what you're supposed to be doing XXX. So so you know that when you've set an action and it's actually emailed them. If they did not receive the email, just check their spam and then just right click and allow emails. So it goes into the register here as green. Again, you can actually publish that register as mentioned, but you can add those details and so forth. But if I hit the view icon here, it automatically turns that into a PDF. You can generate that into a PDF and give it to whoever it may be that you need to. So this has all the details that I filled in those forms there. So in the investigation and the corrective measure, so the more detail that you do when you're doing the investigation and the corrective measure, the more detail will be on that PDF. And you're looking at, as mentioned, if I go to this quick links page and go to the return to work register, here is that incident in red. So the incident register links in with the return to work register where you can go through here. We'll do that in another kind of webinar in another day, or if you like, you're more than happy to send me an email or book a demonstration. I'll show you how that works if you're going to use that register. But as mentioned, if I go to the report section here as well, these are all the stats. Here's the actions if you've assigned actions. So 2 actions, so many are logged and so many implemented and all that kind of stuff. So you can see the stats on those. And here's the days off work as well, and injuries that cause days off work. So this all interlinks with that form where you actually selected how many days off work by just selecting that icon. So so the incident register is a very well used register, unfortunately. So especially with the larger the company you are, it is you need to keep the records of that, and that's exactly what this system does. It keeps a good record of that. It does give you some good details. Some of the upgrades coming into this section here is that on the incident form, it'll actually say was it related to activity machine. It'll also say, was this due to a hazard? So if it was, you can actually enter the hazard. It'll go straight to the hazard register, and then you can actually do that process there. But you'll see over the kind of coming months and so forth that this section here will get a really good upgrade where you'll be able to do lots of different things with this new form. If you've actually added a new form, I'm going to be making it that you'll be able to kind of create your own form down the bottom, just like the checklist builder. So I think that'll be really good. So that's the webinar on incidents. They usually go for around about 20 minutes, so I'm nearly spot on. So if you do have any kind of more questions on this register, please either go to the help section and put in a ticket, which is just up here, or you can actually email me, phil@onlinecompliance.com.au, and ask me a particular question relating to that register, and I will definitely email you back. And my staff won't let me forget it anyway, because they check up on me. So but again, thank you for attending. Lisa will be sending out the invitations again once a month in the newsletter that she posts each month. If you do want any one of your other employees to receive a newsletter, please send us an email and we can add them to the list. You can have as many people in your company receiving our monthly newsletter as well as being in this webinar. So thanks again, and have a good afternoon.